Hi Zoe, hi YouTube friends, another journal update for you guys. If we hear some drilling I might have to go shut the back door because next door neighbours are having something done to their house and there's sporadic drilling every now and again. So if I leap up you know what's gone on. Okay, so this is the week starting the 9th of July. I cleaned my house, so I've just put love your home there. And then I've got here, I thought this pretty much looked like how I did my journal, because I put caught up in my journal and sorted images, and I sort of do like the little arrows, and I know that this isn't my journal, but a bit like that, and I thought, oh yeah, pop that bit in. And sorted images, this is all the images that I'd cut up over the weekend when I was doing my harvesting, so I had to file them away in my big file, so put that in there. And then that's pretty much what I did all day. So in the evening we had a takeaway for dinner, which was really nice, so I didn't have to cook because I'd been having quite a bit of anxiety over the weekend, and I think it's because of the new loud Tracy. I think we probably just clash, and through no fault of her own she's just very loud and very aggressive, and that's just how she is, and I'm just going to have to cope with it, but I'm just not very good with loud in-your-face people. So Jared very kindly said, we'll get takeaway. So we went to the BFC, which is in Well High Street. It used to be called Star Chip Enterprise, because I used to work there when I was a teenager, and it sells like fish and burgers and all that sort of stuff, and we had this little burger special deal, which is 2 quarter-pounders or 2 chicken burgers, large chips and 2 cans, and then Loki and I had that, and Jared had a half-pounder, and he had some of our chips and one of the cans because I didn't want a can of pop. So it worked out quite well actually. We both had quarter-pounders, and the large chips were really large. They did all 3 of us, and there were still chips left over, and I had a second lot of chips and I still couldn't finish all the chips. We still ended up, well, dog had a few, throwing some away. So yeah, really good deal. We watched Supernatural, so I popped that in, and I had been off yeast for 1 month, so it's my 1 month no yeast anniversary. But of course I had the roll with the quarter-pounder there, so that was bread, and tummy went to massive, so definitely a yeast issue. I just put this one weighing up between the good and the yeast produce. And so Tuesday I woke up with no anxiety. Yay! It left at last. So I walked to Lidl's. I did a walkabout, but I did a little different direction. Went to Lidl's and to Morrison's. I was trying to find cornmeal, because Zoe sent me this cornbread recipe, which I have here, which I want to do. So she sent me this, and it's got the recipe on the back. But I couldn't find any cornmeal. So Lidl's and Morrison's tried. Nope. And haven't got any. So then I went into the Costa's, which is over there, and found my new favourite drink, which is a coconut latte. I have a small single shot decaf coconut milk latte, and it is gorgeous. Oh, so nice. Then I walked into Well High Street to have a look around the charity shops, and I bought a dress, 2 play suits and some trousers. I also picked up my hair dye and some Aussie spray, which is the leave-in conditioner. I really like that one. It is a little pricey because it's £5, but generally lasts me like a year, so I suppose it's not if you think of it that way. Just put these little bits in because I went to the Mind Shop and the Western Hospice Care. And this one, just a little saying in here to fill a gap, really. And then, excuse me. Okay. when I was in the RSPCA charity shop, I overheard a lady who worked there talking to her boss about customer who'd yelled at her because they wanted something that was 50p discounted to 20p. And seriously, it's 50p. It's a charity shop, you know. So they've been told they're not allowed to discount things. It's a charity shop, you know. They're not asking a lot of money. 50p, for goodness sake. I think it was for a pattern. So I overheard this, and as I left the shop, I actually walked past Astor's, which is a cake shop, and I thought, because the lady, as I was leaving, goes, "Oh, I need a coffee now," and she went off into the back, and her boss had left, so she was by herself. So I popped in the cake shop and just got her like a little shortbread, chocolatey, biscuity thing, and popped back and gave it to the lady. And she was like, "Oh, do I look that bad?" I was like, "No, I just know, you know, what it's like to have horrible customers." So, and she was like, "Oh, thanks." So, did my good deed for the day. Still couldn't find any cornmeal anywhere in Whirl as well. Don't think it exists. When I got back, I chatted to Zoe. Then I made fish finger wraps for dinner. And then I chatted to Zoe again. We are doing a lot of chatting lately. Aren't we, Zoe love? We're just chat. It used to be once a week. It's like about 5 times a week now. Oh, can't keep away. We have so much to talk about though, because I'm going to see her. So we have to, you know, there's lots of things we have to discuss, which is lovely. It's like really fulfilling my life. Just, you know, looking up all the things we're going to do and just chatting about it. It's just lush. It's just really, really lush. So yeah, our fish finger wraps, and it was a lovely day. Right. And then Wednesday, I went to town on the bus because I'd seen a pound shop YouTube video, and then it looked like there was some really cool stuff. But our pound shop didn't have any of it, so I was like, oh, okay. Had a look through a couple of charity shops and found a really nice dress. Doesn't look like this, but you get the gist. It was a Boohoo dress, brand new. This is the tag, and it was for £5. So, and it fits lovely. So I had to pick that one up, of course. And I had another coconut latte. Oh, can't keep me away from Costa's now. When I got home, I made my YouTube videos. I made a mermaid junk journal one, and my journal one. So be ready to be inspired. If you haven't seen the mermaid one, go check it out and give it a thumbs up. And then I did some research into Zoe and I's road trip, and I looked at Oak Alley Plantation, and I'm not going to try and say that. I did try and say it. Natchez Steamboat, and the Garden District tour, plus lots of information I've been finding out. So just a little research there. And then we had Southern fried chicken and egg and potato salad for dinner. And we watched the football. England lost, but they played very, very well. I watched a whole football match. First time watched a whole match just to see if England was going to win. Bless them, they did score a goal earlier on, but then Croatia scored 2, so it didn't happen, but they played very, very well. Not that I know a lot about football, but they were less pushing over than the other team. The other team were doing very hands-on and lots of pushing over, so and our team wasn't, so good for them. Okay, and then 12th, Thursday, I started, it started to rain. We've had all this lush sunny weather and it started to rain. Although Sally and Ellie and Mark love it because they don't like the heat. So they were very happy that it was raining. Me, not so much, especially as I had to walk to work. And then I just finished all the cleaning, and Sally's fridge freezer had broken, so Mark had gone to charity shop to pick up a new one. Well, a new second-hand one. When he got back with it, it needed a really good clean, so I stayed on to help clean the new fridge freezer. We used some hot water and lemon to and left it in there to give it a good, because it smelt a little bit mouldy, so give that a good clean. When I got back, because I was later than normal, and Izzy had been left, she had pooed in her cage. Now she's usually very good about not doing that, but every now and again she just can't hold it in, bless her. So I had to clean the cage and mop the kitchen floor, even though it hadn't even been on the kitchen floor. But you get this, well, what I do with my OCDs, I've got to clean everything again. So I had to clean the kitchen floor. Then I had to shower Izzy, and then I had to have a shower because I felt gross. So it wasn't great. It wasn't a great thing to come back to. So dear. And then I carried on researching our trip and looking at maps and timetables for the streetcar. Jay got home really late, and bless him, he looked awful. He'd been in the offices all day because last week and this week he's overseeing like a big instalment of printers going into somewhere, and it's in these offices, and it's really, really hot, and he has to wear his full uniform because he's overseeing it. It's his baby. He's being the boss man, so he has to look professional. But he come back with heat stroke because he'd just been in this building all day, like full uniform. So no, he was not looking very happy. We had gnocchi bake, which I had sausages and tomatoes and stuff in it, and it was really tasty. Be doing that one again. Chatted to Zoe, and she had to stop at one point because she had to get Savannah off of her bookshelf because Savannah's a Devon Rex and they can climb. So I found this wonderful picture and it just had to go in. Although Savannah's not a bad cat, she's just a normal Devon Rex really, but I just thought I had to put that in, and it makes Zoe laugh as well. Then Friday, which happened to be Friday the 13th. I didn't realise it was Friday the 13th till this week, in fact. So, explains some stuff though. I woke up unhappy. That was a coincidence, I'm sure. Loki wasn't in a very good mood either. I had a coffee and started filing some of the info that I had found into my travel journal. Sorry, mouth not working, connecting with brain. And made an itinerary for what we're going to do. And it's so exciting. I can't wait to do all this. But I put this in because I had to take a moment, have a coffee and chill out a bit because I wasn't feeling very happy. Then a bit later on in the morning, I did some harvesting, and I got a text from Loki saying sorry he was grumpy with me in the morning. He's such a sweet boy, so good. I chatted to Zoe about the itinerary that I'd made, and we have added the rodeo as it will be there when I go to Zoe's. So I'm very excited about going to the rodeo, and there's like an American fun fair, and I can't wait to try all the interesting fun fair foods and stuff. The Queen had tea with Donald Trump. Nope. So I had to put that in. But all this fun, it's really nice with all these teapots. I imagine the Queen has some very nice china like this with a lovely teapot and very nice cups. When I went to work, Loud Tracy really beeped me off. I will tell you a little story of that one. But to counteract, Nice Tracy had left me a thank you card because I'd given her my Jane Norman dress because it no longer fits me properly anymore, and Nice Tracy is slight, so it fits her lovely. So she'd given me this thank you so much card, and dear Heidi, thank you so much. I love it. Love always Tracy, bless her, she's such a sweetie. She was actually off sick that night, hence Loud Tracy was covering. and I'd taken a delivery order, and because we have caller ID, when the address popped up, it was for East Holm Mansions, but it was spelt incorrectly, because sometimes the Asian women that I work with, they don't quite know how to spell things, so they get as close as they can. So I just thought, well, I'll get the correct spelling on it. So I said to the customer, how do you spell your address? So he just spelt me at East Holm Mansions. It actually said Montions on there, but yeah, we changed that and it was all okay. Bit later on, Loud Tracy come in and said, this address is all wrong, it's all wrong, it wasn't East Holm Mansions, it was West something or other. And I was like, well, I don't see how it can be, because the customer spelt their address to me, and you're not going to spell the wrong address if you live at West something. And she goes, well, it was the wrong one, and she was having a right paddy. I was like, okay, well, I change it on the system. So I took the East Holm Mansions out and changed it, and then she went off on her next deliveries, and we got a phone call from East Holm Mansions saying, where's my food? And I was like, oh goodness, it already got to you. And he said, no, it hasn't. Your driver, the lady driver, phoned me up and said, where am I? And I gave her directions, and that was about half an hour ago, and she hasn't turned up. And I was like, oh no. So I went and spoke to Nick, our chef, and he recooked the man's food, and we sent it straight out with Adrian, who's one of our other drivers. When Adrian come back, he said, yeah, that was East Holm Mansions, definitely. It was definitely that address, and the customer's okay about it. And it was my time to leave then, because my mother-in-law was picking me up. So I said to Lily, who I work with, you're going to have to say something to Loud Tracy, because she's obviously delivered the food to the wrong address. And anyway, it was left at that. Then I shall carry that on in a minute. So Saturday, I had a lie-in. Then I got up and harvested some magazines in the garden because it was lovely and sunny. Jared took us to the pub for lunch, and we all had the cheese ploughmans. I was really happy to see that there was a cheese ploughmans on the menu. It's like on the specials one, and some Coke. I wouldn't call it a ploughman's, and Loki was a little disappointed because when I do a ploughman's, I've got ham on there and pork pie and boiled eggs and lots of salad and apple, I go for it. But it was like pretty much some pickles, some salad, lots of cheese and some bread. So I wouldn't say it was that's probably a traditional ploughman's, from the old days where they come in from the fields and they've basically got bread and cheese. But no, I like a bit more on mine. So yeah, it was okay though. It was okay. I was feeling quite drained from Friday night with the palaver with Loud Tracy, because I don't do loud and aggressive people very much. So I went to bed, and actually I just slept all afternoon. Literally just put my head down and I slept properly. Not doze, I slept. It was like I hibernated. Anyway, I went into work, and Tracy, language word, me off again. So to continue the story, she'd come in, and Lily had said to her, I spoke to Lily, I said, well, what happened? Lily said, I spoke to her, but she wouldn't have it. She said, because the customer paid, it must be the right place. And I was like, well, how can it be if it wasn't East Holm Mansions? And we went to the customer. Anyway, Adrian told her as well that he delivered to East Holm Mansions, but she wasn't having it. Eventually, she, when she come in, she was going, I don't, they paid for the food, and, so it wasn't actually a huge problem, because whoever she delivered it to did actually pay for the food. So we just got an extra delivery. But it's not really the point, because the people she took it to, as I explained to her, because she's going, but they paid. I said, right, it's Friday night. I said, half a Western is ordering food. I said, you will probably just knocked at the door, and they were expecting a delivery, but they could have been expecting a kebab, a burger, fish and chips, Thai food. It's Friday night. Pizza. Well, probably not the pizza, as they would have seen, where's the pizza box? But, something else. So you just turn up with a white bag with, nothing on it, because it doesn't say chopsticks or anything, and they just, you go, £12.20, they just pay for it. They just think it's their food. Get inside, open it up, realise it's not a burger and chips, but they've got no one to call because they don't know what takeaway that's just come from. And they can't phone their takeaway where they got their burger and chips because they've ended up with a Chinese, just for argument's sake. So, anyway, I explained it to her like that, and she was like, oh, but no apology. And I feel like that called for chocolate, so I've popped that in, and a little snidey one, which you can read if you wish. She did some other things that night as well, but it's just too tiring to go into. But she just is very, very draining, and said she just is on my case. So she's making me feel tired at the moment. She very much reminds me of the lady that bullied me at Thomas Cook for a whole year, and then I had my nervous breakdown. So I'm suffering through this at the moment. Anyway, Sunday, I got up and I changed the beds. Dyed my hair because I had a bit grey coming through. Aged to perfection. Jarrah went to his yoga. It's actually Pilates, but I got a yoga sticker, so I went with the yoga sticker. And then I took Jared and Loki to Costa and bought them a coconut latte so that they could try it. So I thought that was a nice little family thing to do. And then when we got back, we had a little barbecue, and I harvested some more magazines in the garden. And then I went for my little nap before work. Work was okay because Loud Tracy wasn't there, so it was okay. When I harvested, I found this little Strange Things 3 is coming out onto Netflix, hopefully at some point, so I was really happy about that, so I've just popped that in. And then after work, I couldn't sleep because Jared was doing some big snoring, which is very unlike him actually, but he was doing some big snoring, so I've just popped that in. Found this picture, which was quite good. So yeah, that was my week. If you've liked, please like, feel free to comment and subscribe, and I hope everyone's having a really, really good week. And yeah, I'm going to say hopefully this week's going to be better, but I'm on this week, and to be fair, it's not, so... Oh, you got to laugh, or she's definitely going to cry. Okay, hope everyone's having a super week. Take care, love. Bye!